This is going to be an interesting one that we're going to talk about. So, all right, let's say this. There have been doctors, even people that work with public health officials or organizations or agencies that have warned against this sort of against this use and the health issues that may derive from the constant booster stuff. Okay, I'm not gonna show you the video of the actual European Union folk talking about it, but I will show you this. That's I don't even know if that's still up because that's probably gotten marked for medical misinformation. But I will read this real quick. And what this is coming from Bloomberg, where they covered some of this, and said European Union regulators warned that frequent COVID-19 boosters could adversely affect the immune response and may not be feasible. Well, this is something that so many people have talked about regarding the jabs altogether. Is the reason why I call it COVIDs, and that's probably an Odyssey exclusive video that I would need to do. But if you're keeping up with this, you're keeping up. But it says, again, coming from Bloomberg, repeat booster doses every 4 months could eventually weaken the immune system and tire out people, according to European Medicines Agency. Instead, countries should leave more time between booster programs and tie them to the onset of the cold season in each hemisphere, following the blueprint set out by the influenza vaccination strategies. Now, you have been seeing, and I guess where the context matters here is that you've seen, especially in, I think UK, you had people that were making the point that they should be giving boosters every 90 days, which is fucking insane. And with something that is so new in terms of this is it's not, no matter how long mRNA technology has been studied, this is still a new vaccine, and it trying to deal with COVID, and you're talking about putting this shit in people every 90 days. Like, that's fucking insane. And considering that that long-term study has not been done because it hasn't been out that long, how this would or could impact things such as your immune system. It's just insane that not only are people trying to force folks to do this shit, hell, you got in certain areas that now if you're double vaccinated, you're no longer considered vaccinated at all. You got to have a booster. But, have such a policy and then they act like you're crazy because you like, I don't know about this, or I at least at minimum want to wait this stuff out. This advice comes as countries consider the possibility of offering second booster shots in a bid to provide further protection against surging Omni-Man infections or the Omicron infections. Says earlier this month, Israel became the first nation to start administering second booster or fourth shot to those over 60. The UK has said that boosters are providing good levels of protection and there is no need for a second booster shot at the moment, but we'll review as data evolves. Boosters can be done once or maybe twice, but it's not something that we think should be repeated constantly, says Macro Cavalieri, the EMA head of biological health threats and vaccine strategy. So it's one of their public health experts that's saying that. We need to think about how we could transition from the current pandemic setting to a more endemic setting. The EU regulator also said at the briefing that oral and intravenous antivirals such as Paxlovid and remdesivir, I thought that shit was fucking people up, maintain their efficiency against the Omni-Man. The agency said that April is as soon as it could approve a new vaccination targeting a specific variant. This kind of goes along with Pfizer. They said around that time, I think it was March, saying that they could have something that would specifically address the Omni-Man variant. As the process takes 3 to 4 months, some of the world's largest vaccine makers have said that they are looking to produce vaccines that can target new variants. So basically, there are people, among the European Medicines Agency and my mans that I just mentioned that are weary or questioning this idea of this constant shooting folk up with this shit. Now, again, I mean, y'all, they got y'all on these vaccines taking it more than y'all take the fucking, I don't know, fucking diabetes medicine. But it in itself is weird. You got to admit, I don't care where you're at. Like, why is for something that is so effective and safe, why y'all taking it every 90 days? Because I ain't never done that for shit, to be fair. You know? But yeah, these are things that the fact that you even have to talk, it lets you know that we're not doing anything scientific, by the way, that you have to tiptoe around even discussing stuff like this because it's almost like blasphemous to even discuss anything like this because you just got to say vaccines good. But yeah, that's something worth considering. Like, these people are constantly injecting this shit in their body. Like, maybe there are going to be some medical, physical ramifications because that's not normal. That's not fucking normal. So we'll see what comes of this. Definitely, as I don't want to say people start to pivot on it. That's not more so what I think we're seeing here, though we are seeing some people walk back stuff. It's just what the flavor of the month is. So we'll see what happens considering this and the Omegatron variant.